Hello everyone, Zexif here. Today we're going to be going over how to do the Deep Stone Crypt raid. First off, I want to say if you enjoy this video and it helps you, hit the like button, maybe hit subscribe. I'm going to be doing a ton of these on every raid that comes out in the future, and also maybe some weapon reviews and stuff like that. So if you want to check it out, go ahead. Basically, we're going to go ahead and start. Alright, to start out the Deep Stone Crypt, basically you'll spawn at an area right in front of the Eventide Ruins. What you'll do for there is you'll go in on the right. You'll see some enemies. Kill all those enemies and look for this door right here. When this door opens, you are able to open your sparrow and go in. When you go in, make your way around the halls until you get to this airlock door. Once you're in this airlock door, you'll notice this shelter from the storm. Now what I'm doing right here is actually a bug right now, which you can use to permanently get shelter from the storm. How this is supposed to work, the buff shelter from the storm would go away and you will get frostbite, which ticks up to a maximum of 10. If it reaches 10, you die. With this bug, however, you can permanently stay in the storm and not take any frostbite. All you need to do is follow the route on screen as we make our way over to the first encounter of the Deep Stone Crypt. Once you reach the final bubble, you can actually pick up a secret chest that you can get rewards and mods from if you have already completed the raid. If not, you'll be guaranteed a mod that you can put on your raid armor that help you out with certain buffs throughout this raid. To start out, once everybody's in the airlock like last time, you now are able to go through to the next part, Crypt Security.
Is it you? That was perfectly timed.
Crypt Security is actually the easiest part of this raid, but took World's First teams lots of time. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over every role for this encounter. Let's go. For this encounter, we have two buffs, Operator and Scanner. Operator starts in the transmat pod at the beginning, which once picked up, will start the encounter. When the encounter starts, Operator is able to open these doors, as seen here, and go down below. When they go down, only one person is able to go down, and if any of the doors on the outside are open, you are not able to go inside. Once the Operator gets told by the scanner what buttons to hit, which we'll go over in a minute, we'll go around and shoot only those buttons. Failure to do so will create fire down there and will kill your Operator. And now for the scanner. Here's a map on screen for how you can manage the light and dark side and still give callouts to where buttons are. I recommend showing this to your operator so that they can follow the same suit, and really just to make it easier on both of you. So as we can see here, we have the windows. These will allow your scanner to look through and tell you which one's glowing. Two on both the dark and light side will have glowing yellow buttons. These buttons are the ones that scanner has to call out and tell the operator which ones to shoot. Whenever your operator shoots those and gets all four, whoever your operator is will have to put it in the terminal that's down there, and someone else will have to pick it up. Then whoever is scanner will have to put scanner in the terminal so that the previous operator that's down there can tell which crypt security things to shoot. When he goes out, you can see here, your callouts are going to be left, middle, and right. So, if we have dark, left, middle, and right, you'll say dark, middle, and so on. And vice versa with the light side. You'll go through back and forth until you have all 6 crypt security nodes taken down. When all of them are gone, then that completes the whole encounter. That is it. This is just the beginning, however, and it gets more complicated. Now, we're on to the next encounter. Now, we're moving on to Atrax 1. Atrax 1 was difficult for many Day 1 teams because there are so many moving parts to it which you have to have every team member understand. The first one you could easily do it with only having 3 people, but now you have to actually get most of your team to do something or swap a buff with. Now we still have 2 main buffs, the operator and the scanner, but now we're going to be adding in the Atrax 1 replication buff. More on that later. For this one, operator will always stay the same, but there'll be a scanner for space and a scanner down on bottom. Again, we'll have to use these terminals to swap the scanner buff. The scanner will spawn from an enemy in the space station, which will need to be collected. The damage phase will always start on top first. Operator will spawn on the ground floor. However, operator, as soon as he gets the buff, will need to go up into space to help the scanner out. Once you kill all 6 servitors, 3 in space and 3 on bottom, he will start throwing his hands up and glowing. The scanner will have to tell you which one it is. He'll drop a ball, and this ball is kind of transparent, you can kind of see it. It is called Atrax 1 replication. This buff has to be cleansed every 45 seconds. If not, your whole team will wipe. The person who gets the buff on bottom will need to come up, and the person who got it on top will keep holding that buff. You can reset the timer without actually cleansing yet by having the operator shoot your head or wherever the bubble is above your head. Once you're ready, get the operator to shoot the terminal next to one of the doors that are available. When you get in, get the operator to shoot it off of you, and it will cleanse in that little chamber. Once you have done that, you have now successfully done a damage phase, quote unquote. Now, you'll have a small little break, and servitors will spawn again, and you have to do that all over again. Once you get down to the last little bit of health, you'll need to send everyone up to the space station. Once everyone is up to the space station, then it will be the same as before, except now the scanner will be looking for multiple. So, one at the start, and then after you kill one of them, it will show another one is glowing, and then another one, until you're done, or you run out of bosses to kill, which I don't think has happened yet, but who knows. A good tip is whoever is scanner on top needs to have the scanner buff, because if they're coming from the bottom, sometimes the timer will run out before they get to space station. And now this brings us to my personal favorite part of this raid, the space station. Now that we're past this, we're on the space station above Europa. What we need to do now is go over to the right, and you'll see an open door, and we can go through. This next part is a simple jumping puzzle, but it does have a secret chest, which I will show in 1 second. This room will spawn lots of ads and won't be a huge threat to you, but on day 1, if you got hit by a shank, you were basically dead. Once we jump on this left side, you'll notice the chest is over here. Now, you can get to the end of the jumping puzzle by going any way you want, but if you stick to the bottom left side, you'll notice that the chest spawns there. It does not despawn, so you can go ahead and grab it even if your teammates are struggling to get across the jumping puzzle. Cough cough, me. And now we move on to the descent. So for this one, you will still have operator and scanner, but this time you have a new one called suppressor. The operator role does essentially the same thing he's been doing the last 2 encounters, except this time, whenever the cores are spawning, you want the operator to shoot the farthest ones. If it is glowing red for the operator, he can shoot it and make it so that multiple cores do not spawn. But you'll notice, whenever you take the ball to these, it will be offline. What you have to do is you have to get the suppressor to go to these balls that are across the arena every time the cores spawn. These balls around the arena make it so that you have to damage the boss while inside of these rings around it. Once you've got all 3 per phase, all you have to do is get the 2 people to deposit their cores in the correct boxes. Again, scanner, it's up to you to make these callouts. Once you've done that, just do that 6 times, and you are done. Once you have done that 6 times, all you have to do is get your entire fire team to come to the middle and run. Tanix will actually be chasing you. You can easily outrun him, but If your entire fire team makes it to the end, you can continue on to the final stage. Once the ship crashes, all you'll have to do over here, grab your chest and start the final phase. Taniks the Abomination. This time, new roles are created for Operator, Scanner, and Suppressor. If the Operator ever sees a purple orb around someone carrying a ball, it has to be shot off immediately. Failure to do so will keep them trapped inside this containment, and they will not be able to reach the bins to deposit the core. The Scanner will tell which boxes to shoot, number them 1 through 6, starting from spawn and going clockwise. You'll notice here I'm making it very specific on what you need to do, because if you label this correctly, you can easily get Taniks dead. It honestly shocks me that it took longer for Atrax than it did for this encounter. I'm just sorry. And now the final role, Suppressor. Suppressor does the same exact thing as last time, except this time the balls are a bit scattered until the people who are holding the cores are surrounded by that purple containment field and shot by the Operator. This is kind of a weird mechanic, but you're just gonna have to get used to it for this to work. Once you deposit 4 cores in total, everyone just needs to set up near the boss and he will start his damage phase. You have to walk within this arc field that he has around you and not get hit by the trash that flies around it. I recommend someone having a divinity and someone either running really good slug shotguns or a sniper. A really good slug shotgun would be the first and last out with Vorpal, and if you have a really good heritage from the previous encounters, then you can run that and run double slug if you want to. Now, once you have done enough damage, he will run 2 damage phases. That is if you've done 2 cores and then 2 cores again. And then if you had deposited all 4 cores at one time, then it will do 3 damage phases. Once he gets to his final stand, he'll start teleporting around the map randomly. I guess this is supposed to create some kind of element of surprise or something. I have no clue. But just shoot him and he dies. There you go. Deep Stone Crypt. No, but on a serious note, there's actually a lot of loot that you can get from this raid. I'll have a separate video after this on all of the raid loot and going over all of the best rolls. If you want to check that out, make sure to hit the like button and have notifications on for the next video.